What's up, you guys? Let's do some makeup together. It is Seint Summer Sale season. Try and say that 3 times fast. The Seint Summer Sale season. Woo! And I need to do some makeup today. So let's do a little unedited, uncut, get ready with me. I've seen lots of similarities in your orders, so we are gonna use some of those products. The Seint Summer Sale started, so many S's. The Seint Summer Sale started on the 11th, and there are 2 tiers. The 25 and 40% off warehouse sale ends on the 17th. The last chance one goes as products are still available and ultimately ends July 31st. I know some things are already gone, lots of things are still available. So I wanted to do my makeup today using some of the products that you already bought so that you have some inspo for when they arrive. But also I'd gotten some questions on certain colors and brushes and things like that. So we're gonna do that whole thing today. Let's start with, I'm gonna grab my blend brush. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm gonna go into some of my color corrector. Oh, let's get this hair out of the way. And let's do some color correction under the eyes. I'm thinking light to medium finish. We'll see where the look takes us. I'm getting it into that line there, that bag line. I have a lot of redness, if you can see right now, a lot of discoloration going on. I think I've been having a little bit of a reaction to something. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know what it is. Also, I exfoliated my face, well, I shaved my face, the bottom part. I was too nervous to get anywhere around my eye. But because I have a lot of excess redness, I am zapping it all out with my color corrector. Seint makeup just works different than other makeup because this is meant for your skin to show through. This is supposed to be a true skin-like finish. It is not a full coverage, like zap it all double wear foundation. So if you want additional coverage without just piling on more and more foundation, you start with a color corrector and we can get all of this redness and discoloration and whatnot toned down. Now our face matches, so we can go in with our main highlight shade. So if you're somebody who's been using Seint and you feel like your makeup isn't lasting or that discoloration keeps popping through, you likely need a color corrector. I basically figured out how to best apply, get the best longevity, and fell in love with this makeup once I figured out color correction. You don't have to do it on the daily, right? Some days you just want to even out the skin tone a little bit and rock and roll, but on days where you're feeling a little extra tired, I'm 42, it's the summer, and I'm schlepping my kids over all over the place. I feel like I'm waking up as early, if not earlier, than I did when they were in school. And I'm just buffing. Like, this is just a circular motion. I could use a bigger brush, make this go faster, but whatever, some makeup therapy. All of my redness, discoloration, and for you, this might be just like little pockets of acne scarring. Maybe it's just your under eyes. Or you can have it in your back pocket for the days when you get something like eye dermatitis or some sort of a reaction like I'm having over here. Like I said, I'm going for a light to medium, so I'm gonna let some of this show through. Like I was saying, Seint's makeup is not opaque. Like, it is meant to be sheared out. It is meant to give buildable coverage, but it is not meant to be that double wear sort of foundation. It is meant to emulate the look of real skin. It doesn't have that traditional dry down. So like with traditional foundation, the alcohol evaporates and you have what's called transepidermal water loss throughout the day. Like, that's just normal, meaning the water in our skin, in our makeup, it just evaporates throughout the day. So that's why you oftentimes feel like you're super dry, and then you have foundation or something on that dries down and you're left with like that cracking, creasing feeling, kind of feels a little bit tight on the skin. That's that process of both the water and the alcohol from your skin and your makeup evaporating. This doesn't have that. That's why it emulates the look of real skin differently, but it also operates differently. So, you know, the pros are, I think it looks really pretty on maturing skin. The cons are, you gotta learn something new, and we don't like to learn something new. But let me tell you, okay, hold please. And we're back. I will tell you, if you've been doing your makeup the same way since, you know, you were going out to the club in your 20s and it doesn't look like it did in your 20s, it's probably because your skin isn't the same, and that's okay. But we can learn something new, use different products to get different results. Like, I'm pretty sure I had 3 sips of water my entire 4.5 years at college. Now, if I don't drink like 100 ounces a day, I look like a shriveled raisin, right? So we do different things as we have different needs. And in my opinion, this is a lovely makeup line, and it's easy. I am a lover of makeup. I have so many different things over here, but I like to test them, try them, and then I consistently reach for the ones that are the most effective. And when it comes to cream foundation, like, I don't use anything other than cream foundations. There's a couple of cream foundation sticks that I like, but when it comes to cream foundation, this is the bee's knees. The finish is amazing, meaning you're not gonna be so glowy that you look sweaty, okay? But you're not gonna be dry and matte where it's emphasizing your fine lines and wrinkles. After testing like 10 different skin tints, that is what I have learned. Like, I've been using this makeup for 4 or 5 years now, and sometimes you try other things and you're like, oh, I really like this. And then you're like, what is it that I miss about Seint? I miss the glow without the excess dewiness. Like, I don't have to powder this down from the standpoint of like, oh, it's too glowy, so let's put some powder on so I don't look any more sweaty than I already am in the middle of summer at a baseball game. And I have to do that with some of my skin tints. So I just think this gives the most beautiful, radiant finish that still looks like skin. Right now, I have some excess color in my neck. I'm just taking my main highlight, pulling it down. We're just finding all the ways that we can match everything. So I'm still a little bit warm here. I'm going to add some bronzer to the face and everything will come together. I'm probably getting close to needing 1 shade darker of foundation. And that's the other cool thing, you guys. These tins last months and months and months because it is a very less is more product and only costs 16 bucks. So I can have a winter shade, a spring summer shade, a summer autumn shade, because I get real dark at that point of the year. And each of those is only $16 and will last me that entire season. So I don't know, if you need a color match, I do custom color matches so that you know what your color corrector is, what your main highlight. If we're gonna do some brightener under the eye so that we don't have this flat chicken nugget look going here, I will take care of all of that for you. Just fill out the link the link below in the description box and we can get you one of those. Or you can just customize like an eyeshadow palette, your own lip and cheeks. When it comes to why do I keep using this, it's because this is my whole entire flexible coverage seasonal makeup bag. And like I said, I like to play with other things, but when I travel, I'm not grabbing anything but this. This is everything. When I need fast and I need to throw something in my car, I don't need a whole makeup bag. I have this. So anyways, that's my little PSA for all of you out there that are looking for effective makeup as your skin is changing or you are aging. So we are done with our color correction, our main highlight, everything is evened out. What are we gonna do next? So traditionally, I would contour with Astoria or Cedar. Those are my preferred contour shades, but I wanted to show you, because we're talking Seint Summer Sale, there is a highlight called, nope, that's not the one I want, called Fiji. So highlights are what we call foundation here in Saintland. Where did I put my contour brush? And this is just a deeper, yet it has a bit of a cooler undertone to it. And this guy's on sale. So you can easily do a very light bronze with this and just add some depth, or you can do a very natural looking contour and it does not have a lot of red in it. Typically somebody like me with redness in the skin leans towards the ashier colored, the cooler colored contours so that I don't look, I don't know, like an Oompa Loompa. But we can use Fiji highlight. So these shades are gonna be versatile in this way. So if this is not your skin tone depth, which is typically what highlights are for, and you're looking for how to best utilize the sale, grab this Fiji. Use it as a contour. And then you can even grab, just pulling it down the neck. We're gonna get everything to match, chisel out that jawline. Listen to my kids go crazy. You know what? Let's put a little bit in the crease here, start working on an eye look. I did color correct my eyes with my main highlight. No, I lied with my color correcting highlight. Then I put a little bit of my main highlight over top, just to take it from that color corrector shade back to my skin tone. Now we have a really neutral looking surface, and I'm just carving out the eye so that we have a little bit of depth to our eye look. Throw a little bit underneath with that Fiji highlight. So Fiji's in the 25% off category. These are our 25% off category items. Maybe we'll come back to that for some eyeshadow. I'm not sure. I'm kind of trying as we go to incorporate as much as I have gotten questions about and products that I use differently, because again, makeup is just pigment in different delivery systems. You can get really, your makeup can be really flexible. So this is suede lip liner. I'm gonna use that as my bronzer today. It is gonna give you a little bit more coverage than a traditional bronzer would. It's not quite as sheer. It has warmth, but it is not glittery, shimmery, anything like that. So if you are somebody that likes a really subtle bronzer and you're around my skin tone and you wanna make sure that it has no, guys hear my kids screaming like crazy people? Let's make sure they're alive. All right, we did need to take a little breaky break there. Turns out the kids were not behaving as they were supposed to. And I think they think I can't see them, but they're literally right on the other side of the camera where I have the window. So, reclaiming my thoughts here. Fiji as our contour, a suede lip liner as our bronzer, and now we just have a subtle, really pretty, glowing skin look. You know what I'm gonna do since I have this right here? This is our lip conditioner. Obviously, I've annihilated mine. I've used so many of these. I love having one of these in my palette. It could not be more convenient. Great like the balm, but the conditioner is what's on sale. And I particularly like that these are scented. I like a little bit of scent in my lip products. Cherry, peppermint, vanilla. I think cherry and peppermint are my favorite. I don't dislike the vanilla, but it's not as vanilla-y as I would want it to be. So let's get the lips hydrated there. And let's start making some decisions. Okay, I think we might be done. I haven't put stuff back together yet because I'm gonna have to pull out all of this stuff right here that is last chance, which means it's all being discontinued. My heart is sad. I just opened this. The Fruit Punch collection, which is scented. The grape and the pineapple are in here from last year, and I just got the most refreshing grape scent. I know I'm a weirdo, but it is a delight. You know what shade? Okay, what shade that I want to show you guys, because so many of you guys picked it up, because this is, I mean, it's essentially like newish. This is Over the Rainbow. This was the shade, so good for summer. It was partially what inspired my outfit today. I was like, what's like orangey pink? And I was like, oh, people got Over the Rainbow. So this shade is from Conference, and I did not even know it was on the website. I honestly don't think they ever told us. So let's start. But that's why a bunch of people picked it up. Sorry, can't continue I can't keep like one train of thought going here because it was essentially new. Okay, maybe just put on a little too much. Got a little blush blindness going, but here's the good thing. Your blush is gonna tone down within like the first 5 minutes. So don't worry if you feel like it looks a little bit excessive like this does right here. We're gonna give it a few minutes. We're gonna start another part of our makeup, and then we're going to evaluate and decide if I look like a rag doll still. Remember those rag dolls when we were kids that have like little cherry cheeks? It's kind of what we have going on here. I'm not sure how well that translates into the camera, but it looks darn crazy on my side. However, that's just because I put too much on. I went like this and then dipped back in. The whole purpose of priming the brush is to really disperse that evenly and not have that occur. Welcome to what uncut behind the scenes with Sami looks like. I think I either need more or less coffee. So we're going with more. Let's let that do its thing for a minute. And let's talk eyeshadow. Okay, so we're gonna want something warm shirt, warm blush, but I am just going to a baseball game. So I'm going to grab the Bright brush, which is on sale, and I'm grabbing Valencia, this neutral, and I'm going to go over the creams that I had on the eyes before. Oh, Say hello, friend.
Mom.
How are you?
Good.
I'm filming a video right now.
I know.
Are you done fighting with your sister?
She started it.
Okay, thank you. Can you Can you close the door now? Okay, appreciate you. Close the door. Welcome to summer at the Georges. I see you, creeper. Okay, so that is Valencia, and essentially we use that. Close the door, please. Essentially, we use that to set the creams that we had on the eyes and that crease shade. So you'll see that we still have carved out the crease a little bit using our Fiji, but now everything is set. If I don't set my creams with either vanilla dust setting powder or different eyeshadows, then I'm gonna get creasing throughout the day because I have hooded eyes and I have wrinkles in my eyelids. You know what we need to do that I didn't do is these brows. I'm like, why do I feel so weird? That's because I didn't do my brows, y'all. Okay, line spoolie brush. Let's grab my Refi, which is my favorite brow gel that is tinted, but I am gonna start with the clear brow gel from Seint, get the excess off. And this comb on here is a delight to work with because it really does lift and comb through. Look at the difference. It's crazy. But instead of filling them with a powder eyeshadow or anything like that, I am going to just add some color and additional lift to the brow with my tinted brow gel. Just a little bit to fill in the gaps. I have very sparse brows. I am working on seeing if this brow serum is gonna do anything over the next couple of months. I'll keep you filled in on that. It's hard to find products that are safe for the eye, that do what they are intended to do. Some of them do a good job, but they're not safe. They're not safe for the eyes. Like, anyways, if you know, you know. If you've seen people that are using like lash growth serums, but their lash line is like purple or bright red, that is a response to the product. Wanna know how I figured that out? It happened to me. I was like, man, why do I have such horrible discoloration on my eyelids? Did a little research. Common side effect of the brow product that I was using. Now I found a lash growth mascara that actually works amazing and doesn't have that product in it. Okay, Valencia on the eyes. You'll see we have that nice neutral peach tone going. Brows are lifted. I think I'm going to add a little bit of Paris. So this pink right here. Back to the blur brush, just tappy tap. I'm gonna add a little bit of that to the lid. I just wanna start to tone that into the pink family. Everyday, easy, neutral. If you are familiar with Seint eyeshadows and you like Mama, this is very similar, just a little bit more pigmented. So you could very much be done here and just have a easy, neutral eye look. I'm gonna go in with, let me make sure I get this right. Nope, that's not the one I was looking for. Where are you, Butterscotch? Here we go. I'm gonna go in with Butterscotch, which is in the 25% off category. And I'm going to carve out the crease because I did want a little bit of that warmth, but I wanted to keep it in more of the like copper brown family than I did necessarily as orange or terracotta, as something like Leo or Havana or tangerine. So that's just a little bit of Butterscotch. And now on the lid, I think I wanted to use one of these are our powder illuminators. I much prefer them as lid shades, as eyeshadows. They're not as finely milled as I would like them to be for something that's gonna go on my face as somebody who has like mature skin. I have a lot of texture in this area, so I prefer cream or liquid illuminators or a very, very, very finely milled powder illuminator. And these are really nice and reflective and shimmery. They make beautiful colors for your eyes, or if you're somebody that's not as bothered by texture or just frankly doesn't have as much as I do, you can definitely use these. These are also 50% off. And these are double the size of an eyeshadow for nearly the same price. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for something that has a little bit of an impact, but nothing over the top on the eye, there are 5 of these. I dropped my palette after filming last time and broke Glamazing, which might be my favorite of the 5. Okay, before I finish this eye look, I can't take the brightness of my cheeks yet. So I'm just gonna go back to my main highlight. It's such an easy fix. Don't be scared to blush, okay? Make sure my brush is clean. I'm going back into my main highlight and I'm just going into the apples of my cheeks, and there we go. From a little crazy to ombre up the cheekbone. And we still have that beautiful over the rainbow pop of color that comes through, and it looks so nice. It's a great summer shade. Great summer shade. I'm gonna put together on, I don't know, probably in Instagram stories over on my Facebook beauty group, like some palette ideas with everything that's on sale, like seasonally. This will definitely, see, that looks so good. Never be scared. You can always take your main highlight and tone something down. This shade is gorgeous. Make sure we clean up that jawline. Okay, now I'm gonna finish my eye look because I'm not as distracted. Doesn't that look pretty? And then we're gonna do a couple more things. So to finalize this eye look, I wanted to go in to this shade right here, which is called Eve. And I'm going to take the smaller end of the blur brush, which is on sale. I'm gonna pack a little bit here into the outer corner, see? The more densely packed, smaller end. And then we'll use the other side to blend this in. And all we're doing is going from a more simple 2-shade look up to a 3-shade look. And this is definitely hooded eye approved colors and technique so that you can see all the shades on your eye with a hooded eye. I'm now gonna take that same Eve, go in the outer corner underneath. This is gonna help set. It's also gonna help it be cohesive. One of the biggest things that you can do to have a cohesive look is like what I did with Fiji, to make sure there is some color on your eye, one of the deeper, not even deeper, like mid-tone matte shades, whether that's your bronzer, whether that's a contour, even if it's a very neutral looking like blush shade, add continuity to your makeup look if things feel off by adding color to the crease that is elsewhere on the face. Also, tying the top to the bottom. That's why I'm bringing that outer corner shade from here down here. Not only does it help set the under eye makeup, but we're also gonna have just a more seamless overall look. So I'm also going to set the under eye with that butterscotch the rest of the way. This is what I do in lieu of eyeliner, unless I'm like going to an event, which I do like once a year, maybe, right? Then maybe I do a very specific type of bottom liner. But if I just do a stark black liner, it tends to age me, where this will keep the eye looking open. It'll give you that continued, that continuous look, so your eye look isn't jarring without aging you or making your eye look smaller. So there we go. That's gonna be the eye look. I'm gonna add a little bit of color under the brow. I think we're done with this. Okay, 25% off. Yeah, 40% off. We're done with that palette. Unsure if I'm totally done with my blush palette yet. I haven't decided. But I'm going to go in to, this is the Rose Gold Illuminator in the Perfume Scent 1. People were asking me about the perfume illuminators. I think they smell very concentrated in the tin because it's literally all packed into right here. Your palette will have the pretty scent to it, but it does dissipate. It's not super like, well, one, it's not offensively strong. Like it's not a perfume like that. So I'm gonna go with a little bit of this under the brow since it is an illuminator, just to keep everything open looking. I wanna make sure I have as much lid space to work with, and I'm using light and dark. So I'm making this look bigger. Inner corner of the tear duct, not going under the eye. Like you'll see a lot of people go like in this like V area. If you have a lot of texture in this area, stick to just the tear duct for an illuminator or a pop of a little bit of a brighter colored eyeshadow. But with the, oh good, now the dog's barking. Hold on, please. Now that we've taken care of the dog, at least for the time being, I did go ahead and curl my lashes. Because I feel like mascara is the worst part of a makeup video. This is the Half Moon Lash Curler from Seint. This is my 4-in-1 lash growth serum. It has a priming component, it is a tubing mascara, it has a lash growth serum and a double-ended wand. That is like half the price of any of the effective lash serums that I have used or found on the market. And it doesn't have the progestaglander something or others, which is the product name that I look for to make sure that it's not going to do harm to my eye. And then I'm using my Seint tubing mascara to finish it off. This one does work really well. If you're not familiar with what a tubing mascara does, I find it to be the ideal formulation for cream because it is easy for the mature eye, goes on and comes off easily. It's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. My problem with waterproof mascaras are they're incredibly hard to get off the eye. And I'm spending so much time trying to regrow my lashes that the last thing that I want to do is then be essentially like pulling them out when I'm trying to get my mascara off. But what a tubing mascara does is the technology of it, it creates little tubes around all of your lashes. And the dry down of it, this one, it doesn't flake, it doesn't do any of those kind of things. But when it dries down, it doesn't smudge under the eye. So when you have a cream product, remember how we were talking about how it doesn't have that same dry down because it's not alcohol based? So it's always gonna look hydrated. It's always gonna have that skin-like look to it because natural skin looks like it has moisture to it, but it's gonna make it more prone to under eye, like transfer of your mascara, unless you do a couple things. Using a tubing mascara is the biggest one. You do that little setting with your eyeshadow underneath, but then you can set your under eye with a powder. I'm gonna dig in the eyeshadow look, guys. What do you think? You have to let me know. But yeah, this one works incredibly well. I also like the brown one from Thrive, and I'm currently testing the Tower 28 brown one. But this is the Lash Leather of the 3 mascaras that we have from Seint. It is hands down my favorite, but I'm a tubing mascara kind of girly to begin with. Okay, so we have done, when it comes to face makeup, like our actual foundation, Seint's foundation is comprised of your highlight, your contour, and your brightening highlight, which like traditionally you're used to calling a concealer. We've done all of the steps except brightening, and I saved it for the end on purpose because I wanted to make sure that I got a really good blend here when I brought all of my colors together. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my brightener. I'm gonna go underneath that eye bag. Remember, with something like cream, if it blends, it extends. Meaning, remember, it doesn't have that dry down, so it is a blendable product. So it will move as it warms up and melts into the skin. Like your makeup actually looks, it's almost crazy. You're gonna like it when it's done. 10 minutes later, you're gonna love it because there's something that happens when all of the makeup and the warmth of your skin starts to meld together at the edges. There's like a natural like blending process with the warmth of your skin. So that's why I don't go all the way under the eye to begin with. I don't want to increase the look of texture under the eye by putting something directly on my lower lid. Because you have to remember, we have an upper lid, but this is actually like a lower lid. And we don't need to get our brightener, or if you're a mascara or a concealer girl, you don't need to get your concealer all the way up under there. That's technically like your lower lid line. It's not just like drooping skin. At least that's what it feels like on me. But you are gonna have some natural extension of the product. So let it do its thing. See how we can clean up both our eyeshadow and chisel out that the eye area, and clean up where we had at least a little bit too high of my over the rainbow. I'm going into the over the rainbow line right here just so that we have like a really seamless blend. Everything, nothing starts and stops drastically. T-zone. And now we've brightened the center of the face. We've cleaned up our lashes, our eyes. I can't use words. And I am going to always use my Perfector sponge at some point in my makeup routine. My traditional order is a little bit different than today, but that's the thing, you guys, you can play with the order of your makeup. Just make sure if you're using a color corrector, the way that I teach color correction, that you're always making sure you put your main highlight over top of your color corrector, because your color corrector alone will likely not be the right shade of your skin. It's to match your discoloration needs. So this is gonna remove excess. You see how we have excess on the sponge? That's what keeps it from looking heavy or cakey or tacky, and it allows me to build up. Like you'll see lots of people talk about how this is one layer makeup, and it can be, but it can also be more effective to do some thin layers in areas that you need more coverage with the correct color, which is what most closely emulates the makeup world. Like that's how you see professional makeup artists do their makeup. Like you build in thin layers as opposed to just adding more and more foundation, expecting more and more coverage without it being any more cakey, and it will be. So there we go. Ooh, doggy. I love the finish. Okay, let's grab our rose gold illuminator. Wait, I don't think it's in here. Pretty soon I won't be able to use any of this. Well, it ain't in here either. This is the beauty. This is what real makeup application looks like, right? Like when you're using not one compact makeup, this is what it looks like. Where is it? What did I do with it? It's one of the things that I love about when it's all in one compact, which I don't want to do with this because I have them separated, 25, 40, 50% off, coming back, not coming back. But when you build this compact up, you literally just flip. Like, oh, where's my eyeshadow that I wanted? Oh, here it is, you know, as opposed to bouncing all over the place like I'm currently doing. I'm gonna generously get in to that rose gold illuminator with my Perfector, pop a little bit off on the back of my hand, and then I'm just going to get that little bit of pretty illumination, additional but natural looking highlighter effect. Tap the other side. There we go. That's the same that I have under the eyebrow. I'm gonna put a little bit on my Cupid's bow to pop out the lip line. You can even do like right here. Just some finishing touches. Tip of the nose. Love it. Okay, what I'm gonna do next before I powder and show you the powder brush is actually grab one of our lip tints. This is Poppy. Poppy is this pretty corally red, which I feel like will look so nice with over the rainbow. I'm gonna wipe off the lip conditioner that we had, and I'm going to, I should grab a mirror. And I'm going to apply this for the purposes of getting a little bit of a lip liner and a stain, and then letting it dry down a little bit, remove any excess, and we'll top it with maybe just like lip whip or something. But let's go in and really draw out the lip line first. Now we'll fill in. And that looks pretty. And I haven't dipped back in at all. This is just one dip. Poppy is really a beautiful shade with Over the Rainbow. Okay, so I'm gonna let that do its thing, dry down a little bit, and then you know what? We'll use Diamonds Are Forever over top. That's what we should use. Oh gosh, oh my gosh. Oh goodness. Okay, powder brush. I don't know if this is, I mean, I know this powder brush is being discontinued. I don't know if we're getting a new one. I don't know what's going on with the discontinued products, and I'm sad about so many, but the powder brush is what I love to use under my eye with the Vanilla Dust Setting Powder. It gives me the right amount of powder without being tacky or cakey, without it like really getting, what's that, like too much powder look under the eye. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but let's make sure we have no creasing to begin with. Use the warmth of your finger to press out any creases that might have formed. Smile lines are a big one for me. Crow's feet. Now, like one press. I need to work mine a little bit in there because I'm getting to the side. Okay, but one press and let's set. These creams aren't self-setting, so we set this for a couple reasons. One, helps prevent creasing. Two, as a matter of preference, where you want things to be a little more mattified. See how this removes some of that dewiness? Particularly for me in the summer, I like to make sure that I'm not overly glowy anywhere where I'm prone to creasing, or anywhere that I'm super sweaty, because I'm a sweaty kid. So that's my T-zone. Definitely the nose and down the sides of the nose and in the smile lines. My upper lip, if you know, you know. Aging is fun. All right, so we're going center of the face there. And now we've kind of reduced that glow. You still, look at it, you have all this glow here. It looks hydrated, it looks amazing, but we've taken down some of the shine and we've set those areas right there. Is there anything else? Do I want to do any other additional blush? Sorry, again, palette down. Just on the apples of the cheeks. Sometimes I'm just digging, like this blush here, but like bringing a little something here. Let's see, we can put Over the Rainbow back. Highly recommend this one since nobody got their hands on it to begin with. I don't want to use Strawberry Shortcake again because I use it like every day in every look, but I kind of can't help myself. Let's see. You know what? Let's do Pink Lemonade and just a touch. Just a touch. Blush and bronzer brush. Now this is a satin. Just that little touch of pink. So we are gonna get a little bit of a fuller looking cheek, a little bit of an ombre, but I feel like this will have a nice tie-in with our eye look. And it will be a little bit more satin here as opposed to glossy, which I kind of like towards the center of my face. So there we go. Okay, what do you guys think? I'm digging it. All right, let me set this to the side. Guys, I have stuff everywhere. I don't know either if I'm a fan of where this shirt cuts off. Do you ever feel like there's some awkward places where your shirt cuts off? That's where I'm at right now. All right, let's see. Ooh, look at that. No transfer from our lip tint. Okay, let's see. Let's wipe off the finish so it'll be a little bit less glowy. Okay, we got a teeny tiny bit of transfer when I like wipe. But I really just want to use this as like, this is the color that will pop through when I do my actual lip look, which I'm going to use the suede lip liner. See, this is why all my makeup ends up broken, because I still drop my palette all over the place. All right, let's grab the multitasker, which is my favorite brush for applying your lip product. I'm gonna go into the suede lip liner, and I am gonna line a lip for a little definition. Tap that out to fade. Oh, I like that. A little more. I'm not a like popsicle lips fan. It's not my jam. Looks nice on other people, but it looks silly on me, I feel like. You know, sometimes you're like, oh, that looks really cute on you. Not me. But I want the lasting pigment underneath. So I'm gonna add that neutral suede lip liner. Perfect. And then I'm going to not get what I want there. And very sadly, you see, take my daylily. So sad about this. Tap on a little bit. And then as this wears, we're gonna have our poppy color still serving as a base. And then I'm just gonna finish it off with Diamonds Are Forever. This is like the Tom Ford dupe. Delicious. I was just say delicious. It's lovely. Look at that. Hydration, glow. It's called a lipstick. It's like a lipstick, balm stick. It has that like shimmering finish without any shimmer grit feeling whatsoever. And that, you guys, that's the look. I'm gonna go to my setting spray from Dibs. I've been testing different setting sprays, and I'm actually really liking this one, which I can't even believe I'm saying that. Not because I don't love Dibs. If you're familiar with Dibs, love Dibs. But all their products smell like chocolate. Well, I think they smell like chocolate. They say they smell like vanilla. They smell like chocolate. This one smells like vanilla scented My Little Pony. And it's the weirdest thing. It's like so nostalgic, but literally it's like somebody put My Little Ponies around your nose from your childhood. And at first I was like, I don't know if I can handle that. But I love the finish and what I get with that. It has the film forming polymers, so I feel like I get great longevity with, it's not too, there's a fine line for me between something that like really mattifies or something that's just excessively glowy. And this is like right in between. I love the finish. You can almost see it instantly. It dries so fast, but I think it's lovely. I'll link everything below and you can take a look down there. But that's it, you guys. What do we think? That's our Seint Summer Sale. Get ready with me. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If there's anything else that you want to see used before the sale is over, feel free to drop that in the comments. I can create stuff either short form or long form so that you can get all the discounted makeup that your heart has ever desired. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to make sure to come hang out with us again, go ahead and subscribe and turn on your notification bell, and we will see you again very soon. Bye-bye.